My dear graduates of this brilliant Caribbean institution, the University of the West Indies, and of this campus, the Open Campus, our Vice-Chancellor frequently reminds us that although an elite institution, in light of our preeminence among the world's finest institutions of higher education and research, we are not elitists. You, the class of 2021, as well as your predecessors, are living, incontrovertible and tangible proof of this fact. You hail from varying socioeconomic backgrounds, and you live in different spaces in your respective countries. Some of you live in the towns, others in the villages and hamlets, some on the hill, others on the flat and within the valleys, several in between. Yet, none of these factors determined your admission into and registration at the Open Campus and the University of the West Indies. To be absolutely certain, these kaleidoscopic socio-economic variations in no way defined your advancement through this elite academy, nor did they decide your class of degree. It was merit that resolved your academic achievements. Our quality and evaluation mechanisms are gender, class, political, culture, color, and ethnic blind. The foregoing is not to be taken blithely or frivolously. You are aware that the University of the West Indies towers in the top 1.5% from the global field of some 30,000 universities and elite research institutes, as measured by the most prominent and reliable Times Higher Education ranking system. Let us embrace this fact in toto. Your journey, especially towards the end, was a difficult one. There was nothing in your experience, or indeed in the experience of your tutors, your university leaders, administrators, and staff to prepare us for COVID-19, one of the world's most fatal pandemics. Mercifully, your university and your campus demonstrated our toughness. You, your tutors, your supervisors, and all our administrators deserve applause for prevailing in a period of such cataclysm. To the above list, I wish to add your family and friends who stood with you through thick and thin. This journey, you will agree, would have been nigh on impossible had it not been for their sacrifices as well. I also encourage you to show gratitude to your sponsors. Caribbean intellectual icon, statesman, and former Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Eric Williams, envisaged, according to Colin A. Palmer, a distinguished graduate of our university, an educational system that would jettison the archaic ideas which germinated and grew out of the colonial encounter and be replaced with one that would execute the role of a midwife to the emerging social order. Graduates, we depend on you to join your fellow UE graduates in purging any remnants of the repressive old systems and indeed delivering to posterity a society of truly liberated people bereft of shackles, not only around their bodies, since those days are happily gone, but more fundamentally around their minds. Verily, I say to you, therefore, my dear class of 2021, be ye fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. Hence, Multiply the productivity in your workplaces, your communities, your countries. Multiply the good name of this fine institution, the University of the West Indies. Multiply the critical, creative thinking that are required for societies to be economically prosperous. Bring forth the effective communication along with excellent emotional intelligence skills that are necessary for harmony and peaceful human coexistence in our Caribbean and our world. Put to good use the IT skills you have learned and honed as students of the Open Campus who have, from the outset, studied via online. Distinguish yourselves as globally ready, yet bearing the uniqueness of the Caribbean identity and the groundings with your brothers and sisters in the region and the diaspora. Prove that by the parsimony you have had to exercise, especially in this COVID existence, that you can translate such thrift into social, cultural, and environmentally conscious ways. And ensure that you multiply several-fold strong ethical values so that they are contagious like the COVID-19 pandemic itself. Finally, graduates, I cannot emphasize too much how proud we are of your accomplishments. In this regard, allow me, on behalf of the Open Campus Executive Management Committee, our staff, the Guild Executive, and all students, to extend to each and every one of you, class of 2021, our very best wishes for successful and satisfying career, whether you are now beginning or continuing. In all you do, please never turn your back on your alma mater, which has improved your life chances several times over. Always remember, as the UWI's response to COVID-19 proved, that the fortunes of the Caribbean nation are inextricably linked to the fortunes of the great University of the West Indies, which is our fundamental hope of reversing the persistent poverty cycle, overcoming the obstacles of development, and transforming and advancing the modern Caribbean from the stubborn and chronic plantation economy. We repose our collective faith and confidence in you. Once again, my warm congratulations to you, Pelican peers. Thank you.
From many distant lands, our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains. Through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voices high and sing of your Caribbean pride. Sing it loud and strong, feel our hearts beat as one. Celebrate in song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound the victory drum for Caracom. Though great and diverse be our ethnicities, the bonds that unite us are stronger than these. We dine, we pray, we love, we dance and we play.
Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors and campus principals, university executives and other members of staff, honorary graduates, members of the graduating class of 2021, members of the media, and distinguished guests. A very warm welcome to the presentation of graduates 2021. My heartiest congratulations are extended to every single graduate of this class. I applaud each one of you for staying the course and completing your degrees. You have done well, and it is truly my honor and pleasure to greet you all on this special day in your academic careers. First and foremost, I ask that you take the opportunity to thank the loved ones who have made this journey with you. Your parents, partners, spouses, children. They have watched you burn the midnight oil and supported you through assignments and exams. For many of you, this is a collective achievement, and I urge you to express your gratitude to your most ardent supporters and cheerleaders. A graduation ceremony is a time for celebration and represents a moment when, as comrades who have toiled together, you reflect on your academic journey and breathe a collective sigh of relief. It is done. What next? Graduation represents your transformation from students to alumni. It is a time when those of us who are on this side of the ceremony view with enormous pride the procession of graduates across so many disciplines. The wondrous gathering of brilliance representing so much promise for the advancement of our societies and economies. Since March 2020, the pandemic has impacted how we do so many things. How we work, how we learn, how we conduct a significant ceremony such as your graduation. This change in the mode does not in any way diminish the significance of the celebration. And this is my central message to you today, that despite the changes that have taken place and will continue to take place, whatever you do in the future must be impactful. It must be done to a high standard with commitment to advancing not only your personal interest, but those of the wider community in which you exist. We have accepted the inevitability of change. How we as individuals and as society adapt to those persistent and constant changes will be a measure of our personal and collective resilience and success. Over the past 20 months, the UWI has adapted to drastically changed circumstances, and I applaud the leadership of the institution for taking bold steps to shift to online and blended teaching and learning. 2 cohorts have since completed their programs, and this is also testimony to the dedication and commitment of the academic staff and administrative staff and the technical staff as well, without whom this would not have been possible. I will ask that at an opportune time, you thank your lecturers and all of the support staff who have worked with you to ensure that you reach this point in your life, this moment, this graduation ceremony. However, I believe that the best way in which you can thank your loved ones, as well as the leadership and staff of the UWI, is by continuing to do well in whatever you choose to do. I use the well-known phrase in encouraging you to go forth and prosper. I echo the sentiments of former Vice-Chancellor of the UWI, Sir Alistair MacIntyre, expressed almost 30 years ago, as he acknowledged the inevitability of change, particularly in a university context. Sir Alistair noted that universities such as the UWI can no longer guarantee to fulfill the historic goals of a university to turn out educated and cultured persons. What the UWI can and must do is to provide an introduction to learning in this uncertain world. A degree is not a job guarantee, but, as Sir Alistair noted, it is a door to that largely unraveled world of knowledge, a start on a long and uncertain road. At the time Sir Alistair made those remarks, the world was adapting to the phenomena of the knowledge economy, and the notion of a single job for a lifetime was being overtaken by multiple career changes and exponential advancements in information and communication technology. Those changes have continued unabated, and even more so in the past 20 months. A university education provides its graduates with the tools for unleashing their potential, to be critical thinkers, objective in their assessment of the information available, open to other schools of thought, and to be able to use the information for the advancement of themselves and of the societies in which they exist. Always be kind to yourself. We often forget the importance of taking care of our own health. In these different circumstances, mental health is as critical as physical well-being. Hold fast to your dreams, but remain rooted in reality. Respect everyone you come into contact with, regardless of their status. It will serve you well. Give back to your alma mater. There are many ways in which you can do this. Be mentors to students, serve as adjunct faculty or technical advisors in subject areas. There are multiple ways and opportunities to contribute to ensuring the work and reputation of the UWI remain at a high level. Wherever you are, the Alumni Office will be reaching out to you. There are chapters in many contributing countries and in the countries to which our graduates gravitate. I hope that you will stay connected with your alma mater and your class. I will end with a quote from Michelangelo. The greater danger for most of us is not setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. Go out, dream large, make all of us proud. We are met today in order that we may mark by a formal ceremony the entry of certain of our members into the company of graduates and the academic achievement of others. As a university, we are an academic society of undergraduates, bachelors, masters, and doctors, and we follow the academic tradition in the pursuit of knowledge and the encouragement of learning, purposes which are laid down in the preamble to the Royal Charter by which we have been granted the powers needful for the prosecution of our affairs. In pursuing these aims, our members advance from time to time to a higher standing in the academic community. And it is proper that as a body, we should celebrate their achievement. It is marked by the granting of a degree or diploma or license or certificate, and we rejoice with our graduates on their advancement.
Chancellor, I now ask the public orator Dr. Veronica Simon to present Mr. George Samuel Wiley, whom the Senate and the Council of the University have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Chancellor, Roman statesman and lawyer Marcus Tullius Cicero once said that nothing is so unbelievable that oratory cannot make it acceptable. I put it to you that there is no need for flowery overtures to gild the substantial and laudatory accomplishments of this honorary graduate to prove his acceptability to our esteemed academic society. George Samuel Wiley, a native Jamaican born on October 13, 1946, in Yallahs in the parish of St. Thomas, Jamaica, has gone on to make an indelible mark on the international world of finance over the past 40 years. Moreover, this unassuming man has been a light in the lives of many, both professionally and personally. Armed with a Bachelor of Business Administration, magna cum laude, in accounting from Howard University in 1971, and a Master of Business Administration in Finance from American University in 1974, he has distinguished himself in the field of public accounting for more than 40 years. Indeed, so firmly and impressively has he established himself in his field that he has been much sought after to serve on the boards of several renowned organizations and institutions, among them the Howard University School of Business, the American University's Kogod School of Business, the Executive Council of Virginia State University, and the Howard University Center for Accounting Education. Further illustrating the trust in his professional capability, he has also served on the U.S. government's Accountability Office Advisory Council and has served 2 terms as U.S. representative to the Small and Medium Practices Committee of the International Federation of Accountants. He previously served as the chair of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, Private Companies Practice Section, and is a member of the Montgomery County Employee Retirement System Board of Investment Trustees, which he has also chaired. Chancellor, Elvis Presley is reported to have said that he would always choose a good accountant over a bodyguard, and he may well have had George Wiley in mind. However, George is quick to dispel the notion of being the stereotypical accountant. Accounting and what accountants do is very much misunderstood. I know nothing about tax returns, he says with a chuckle, emphasizing that his focus in the world of accounting is strictly auditing in relation to universities, government, and healthcare. George's early inclination was towards a career in teaching. Between 1974 and 1988, he followed his calling as an assistant professor of accounting at Howard University and the University of the District of Columbia. But while his days as a teacher are long behind him and he has become absorbed into the world of finance, he has never truly left the classroom. Instead, he simply expanded his teaching and coaching to impact the lives of numerous young people by way of sponsorship, counseling, and example. George Wiley's positive influence and dedicated commitment have earned him repeated recognition by CPA Magazine and Accounting Today as one of America's most influential practitioners. The Distinguished Alumni Award in the field of Business and Community Service from Howard University, the Outstanding Entrepreneur Award by the Institute of Caribbean Studies, and the Caribbean Luminary Award from the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies. Scholarships established in his name include the George S. Wiley Scholarship Fund, established by the American University's Kogod School of Business in 2009, and the George S. Wiley Ethnically Diverse Student Scholarship and Internship Program, introduced in 2019 by the American Institute of CPAs. In addition, George S. Wiley Lecture Series have been established at Howard University and the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. Notwithstanding his international accolades and activities, George is very much a Caribbean man. Over the years, his support for the work of the American Foundation for the UWI has been unwavering and exemplary. By sponsoring the tuition of several at-risk students annually and making sizable donations to special projects, he has indeed changed the trajectory of life for many of our students. His facilitation of collaboration between industry leaders from the US and the Mona School of Business has added great value to both students and faculty. It is easy to see why the Resource Center at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica also bears his name. Chancellor, one might wonder what drives this unassuming public accountant to dedicate his life to improving the lives of young black men and women. His philanthropy is not ostentatious, but quietly demonstrated by way of making the ladder of success accessible to others. Unsurprisingly, George ascribes his dedication to having internalized much of the philosophy and example of fellow Jamaican Marcus Garvey. Hearing his mother and grandmother speak excitedly of this icon's passion for advancing the success of black people, the young George absorbed Garvey's premise that success in commerce was key to personal and collective progress. And this is the message that he takes to university campuses, talking to minority students, encouraging them to aim for leadership in the world of commerce and finance. I am very proud of being black, George says, and I am proud that I can do something to change the lives of young black professionals. Therefore, he has made no secret of his campaign to attract young, diverse talent to his profession and to keep minority public accounting firms independent. And for this dedication to changing minority lives, George has been recognized as the National Association of Black Accountants Outstanding Accounting Leader, also receiving the National Achievement Award in recognition of outstanding achievement in public accounting. He has also been awarded the Diversity and Inclusion Award by the Michigan Association of CPAs. While he regrets that he cannot reach many more young people, George Wiley has transformed more lives than he gives himself credit for. As the managing partner of Burt Smith and Company, one of the top public accounting and management consulting firms in its region, he has ensured that his sizable work team includes young talent. Of the firm belief that young people are often misunderstood and are by nature hardworking and ambitious, he says, "This new generation is no different from mine. They want the same things, but they value the flexibility with which to do those things. They just do things differently. They value their time, their freedom, their leisure. I embrace their attitude." Indeed, Chancellor, his insightful opinion of young people must come from their tendency to gravitate towards him. But even here, he is humble, identifying his wife Doreen, a lifelong educator, as the more important and personable parent, and crediting her with being mainly responsible for successfully raising their daughter, Georgia. In his altruistic way, he also gives credit for his own wisdom to the young people with whom he enjoys interacting and who often seek him out for fatherly advice. Clearly, the philosophy of Uncle Wiley, as he is called by his daughter's friends, also includes the importance of maintaining balance in endeavor. Illustrating how he walks the fine line between work and personal life, he says, "I learned a long time ago that there is no such thing as work-life balance. It is work-life integration." And he takes this attitude to his unexpected passion and hobby, horse racing. In fact, he admits that he and his wife have been to almost all the major horse racing tracks in the US, which suggests that he plays as hard as he works. "This is what I do to keep my mind from being taken over by the world of finance," he says. His uncompromising approach to mental balance is also exemplified by the punctilious delivery of fresh flowers to his office every week. Chancellor, the synopsis of the George Wiley story is thus: a boy who grew up in Yallahs and Kingston, Jamaica, with a love for horses and teaching, turned out to be an internationally acclaimed public accountant who impacted many lives. The Greek philosopher Pericles says, "What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others." The fabric of George Wiley is indeed a part of many lives. Therefore, Chancellor, I ask that you invoke the powers invested in you by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies and confer upon this humble, inspiring, and influential Caribbean philanthropist the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Senate and Council of this university, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, of the University of the West Indies. I now invite Dr. George Samuel Wiley to address the company.
Chancellor Bermudez, Vice Chancellor Beckles, Her Excellency Dr. June Soomer, Pro Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal Dr. Francis Severin, university executives and other members of staff and faculty, Chairperson of Open Campus Council, fellow graduates, distinguished guests. I salute my lady of half a century, Doreen Wiley, my daughter, Dr. Georgia, grandson Jaden, son-in-law Shafi, my sister Doris, and my friends. I am humbled and privileged to receive this honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies. This great institution has been and continues to be the instrument of change in the lives of so many young men and women from so many lands. When I left Jamaica to attend college in the United States more than 50 years ago, no dream, no wish would have made me believe that this day would be possible. To the many other graduates, congratulations. Thank you for allowing me to share this wonderful day with you. Over the years, I have witnessed the reach, the extraordinary growth of this institution, its unbelievable worldwide recognition, and the amazing contribution that its graduates have made to the Caribbean and the world. This institution has nurtured and developed many young men and young women, empowering its graduates to become agents of positive change. I applaud the leadership of this institution for considerably expanding the opportunities for young talent. And as it has grown its coverage, it has also attained the position of one of the leading universities in the world. Congratulations. I am confident that this university will continue to deliver the technical knowledge to succeed, the lessons of shared successes, and the uncompromising dedication to decency and ethical behavior. To my fellow graduates, today is the beginning of the journey. I ask you not to believe that your future is dim and less bright. My generation felt equally pessimistic, and I am confident my parents were equally uncertain. The brightness of your future will be determined by you. I promise you, your life will give you what you deserve. Yes, the future is uncertain. Today is uncertain. It is that uncertainty that will give purpose to your lives. It's that uncertainty that will allow you to lead and make changes. Be the change makers. I noted earlier that I left Jamaica more than 50 years ago. It was a time of great unrest, a time which heralded massive social change, a time that tested our focus. I was fortunate to have by my side Jamaicans not only from Excelsior, but Kingston College, Wolmer's, Calabar, Camperdown, Manchester High, and St. George's. You see, although we competed against each other in 5th and 6th forms as schoolboys, we came together, inspiring and supporting each other in a new land, in the most uncertain and disruptive of times. I am confident that these times of uncertainty will witness the emergence of leaders from this class, transforming the lives of so many of our people. May you have the good fortune to have a small group and those persons to give you the motivation to carry on. Try to accept that other people's ideas may be more on point than yours. Collaborate. Today, you are most powerful. You're benefiting from the prayers of so many, the sacrifice of parents and family who believed in you. You have the opportunity to lead. You have the opportunity to give back. Please do not listen to critics. The key is to remain true to yourself, grasping the pillars of objectivity and decency with selfless humanity, always seeking to help others. Let this be your greatest attribute. Strebber Roberts, the late venerable sports editor of The Gleaner, taught me that accepting professional responsibilities is what defines a professional. My family and friends taught me humility, provided affection, yet never failing to set me straight. The members of the firm of which I am a part provided me the opportunity to serve. The members of this fine institution, along with successive ambassadors to the United States, never ceased in ensuring that this university remained a part of my focus. The American Foundation of the University of the West Indies, its chair, its leadership represent the finest of motivation dedicated to the support of young talent. They inspire me. I spoke of the age of unrest in the late 60s and 70s. In 1970, the singing group, the Carpenters, released a single titled, "We Have Only Just Begun." And it goes like this in part. We have only just begun to live. Before the rising sun we fly. So many roads to choose, sharing horizons that are new to us. We'll find a place where there is room to grow. Working together, day to day, together. Yes, you have only just begun. I pray that you will be good ambassadors to this great university, wherever your pursuits will take you. Be grateful for today. Be grateful for tomorrow. Be excited about the future. Again, I thank this distinguished university for making this a very special day in my life. I gratefully accept this honorary doctorate, which you so graciously awarded me.
We will now have a performance.
Sir. The Head Online Programs Delivery, Mrs. Elia Grant Fraser.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Bachelors of Education and Bachelors of Science, Social Sciences, or as holders of Associate of Science degrees or diplomas or certificates of the University of the West Indies.
By the authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called as graduate members of our society, and confer first degrees, associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates of this university.
Anguilla, Certificate in Human Resource Management. Dorfer Seabrooks, Associate of Science. Violet Frank, Bachelor of Education. Yashika Campbell Hunter. Chantel Carbon. Dovia Gums with First Class Honors. Sharon James with First Class Honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Janelle Anthony with First Class Honors. Anna Bryan with First Class Honors. Deanna Bryan. Anthea Connor with First Class Honors. Bernice Edwards. Cavell Fleming with First Class Honors. Kanisha George. Sheila Hodge. Melissa Lake. Rosette Reed. Heidi Thomas. Sawyer Ward Williams. Naomi Williams with First Class Honors. Antigua and Barbuda, Diploma in Business Administration. Elishiba Anselm with distinction. Bachelor of Education. Kanetta Blackstock. Stephanie Caesar Maxim with First Class Honors. Valencia Daly. Mersha Ladette Smith. Tanisha Lewis. Aria Pringle. Michelle Smith. Shalneil Stevens Clark. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Shani Colburn with First Class Honors. Joelle Daru with First Class Honors. Lucia Deluge Gomes with First Class Honors. Larissa Francis with First Class Honors. Lisa Gordon Brown. Elisa Graham with First Class Honors. Melanie Green. Jerry Nathaniel. Siobhan Nicholas with First Class Honors. Ruth Nicholson. Felicia Pardo. Rochelle Roberts with First Class Honors. Klatifa Samuel with First Class Honors. Jamal Skeppel. Janelle Tittle. Kimmy Watkins with first class honors. Avanel Watson with first class honors. Mikkel Watson. The Bahamas, Associate of Science. Sherry Morris Anderson, Bachelor of Education. Rhonda Fraser Stowe. Lajane Myers with first class honors. Ethnic Rule with first class honors. Tanya Stanko with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Teresa Glinton. Lorenda Johnson. Onika Lewis. Lita Semple James. Deandra Smith. Barbados, Certificate in Criminology. Petra Eiffel. Certificate in Human Resource Management. Tiffany Batiste. Lana Myers Hines. Associate of Science. Charmaine Watkins. Bachelor of Education. Tony Holder with first class honors. Keisha Small with first class honors. Andrika Wilkinson with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Julia Blackett. Faith Campbell with first class honors. Kimberly Cumberbatch. Diana DePisa. Andrea Hall. Rhonda Hope Lovell. Joyanne Joseph. Nicholas Padmore. Jermaine Trotman. Belize, Bachelor of Education. Conchita Ayuso. Akira Hewlett with first class honors. Jacqueline Molina with first class honors. Roxette Munoz. Randine Pryor with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Divine Amagwala. Robert Codd. Anselma Jones. Tricia McFoy with first class honors. Abel Okaeta with first class honors. Dawn Ortez with first class honors. British Virgin Islands, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Kamika Harris. Simone Simpson Pope. Michael Smith. Cayman Islands, Certificate in Human Resource Management. Christine Powell. Associate of Science. Donovan Ferron. Bachelor of Education. Maureen Robinson. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Maxine Bravo. Dominica, Associate of Science. Shalina Isidore. Bachelor of Education. Marv Williams with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Selena Boston with first class honors. Shireen Carbon with first class honors. Onella Coates. Jessie Kone. Tessa Daru with first class honors. Annalisa Etienne, Darren Fagan, Florissa George with first class honors, Melinda George, Helen Hector, Kelda Hotul, Coraya Jean-Baptiste with first class honors, Siobhan Jean-Baptiste with first class honors, Kamasha Lloyd with first class honors, Keisha Marie, Stefina Martin Williams with first class honors, Zachariah Maxime with first class honors, Fidel Moreau with first class honors, Emerald Pierre with first class honors, Ke Pierre with first class honors, Keisha Polydor with first class honors, Kernesaya Prevost with first class honors, Vanessa Registe John Jules with first class honors, Romelia Romaine Burton with first class honors, Trisha Stevens with first class honors, Denise Tavernier with first class honors, Shannon Thompson Phillip, Rhonda Eunice with first class honors, Grenada Certificate in Human Resource Management, Alicia Logie, Associate of Science, Cassandra Cox Peters, Bachelor of Education, Carl Aban with first class honors, Bevan Braveboy, Akeda Kalist with first class honors, Gaynell Charles with first class honors, Alana David, Seraphine Edwards with first class honors, Wayne George, Connie McQuilkin, Ariel Primus, Sonika Purcell with first class honors, Stacy St. Cyr, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, Josh Aban, Cora Alexander Mason, Carleen Alexander James with first class honors, Jacqueline Alexis with first class honors, Jacqueline Belfont, Elba Caliste, Corinne Campbell, Colin Daniel, Abiola Delves Fraser, Vanessa Derby Roderick, Janelle Douglas with first class honors, Gail Foray, Kestra George, Abiel Griffith, Kayan Hanson, Nicolette Harding with first class honors, Charlene Isaac Louison with first class honors, Angela James, Grace James with first class honors, Vaughn Joseph with first class honors, Chanel Julian, Verna Knights, Stacian Lake, with first class honors. Tevin Mahon. Kimberly Murrell Frederick with first class honors. Lydia Rajman. Kenya Richmond. Tricia Rodney. Carrie Stanislaus Thomas. Zia Williams with first class honors. Jamaica, Certificate in Human Resource Management. Melissa Anderson. Jewel Clifford Brown. Diploma in Health and Family Life Education Instruction. Tanisha Reed, Associate of Science. Keon Dixon. Beverly Frances Reddy. Karen Morris Stone. Bachelor of Education, Kyan Brightson with first class honors. Dwayne Cover Stewart. Blondell Dufus with first class honors. Charmaine Foster. Janet Gordon. Shelly-Ann Grant Thompson with first class honors. Jayan Lee. Shadian Sharp. Janice Wallace. Valine Williams Walters. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Nordia Barnett Dundas with first class honors. Georgetta Barton Williams. Shantae Bent. Shamika Bolt. Dorisha Brown. Verna Burrell with first class honors. Tadisha Calendar with first class honors. Anisha Campbell with first class honors. Shari Campbell. Lisa Cohen. Shanique Cook. Christina DaCosta. Cherie Dennis. Trishoni Downey with first class honors. Mario Dunkley with first class honors. Damian Fisher. Corona Foster. Jacqueline Gordon. Kenise Gordon with first class honors. Kishmon Grant. Chantel Green. Nakishia Henry with first class honors. Kimberly Hosang Rose with first class honors. Ophelia Hughes with first class honors. Jodianne Johnson. Satania Johnson. Shanique Jones. Christelle Mayers with first class honors. Jodian Malcolm with first class honors. Kenisha McDaniel. Deanne McFarlane with first class honors. Lashane Mead. Wendy Miller. Melissa Moody. Lola Morrison, Nicole Monroe West, Julianne Nugent, Naomi Phipps, Deborah Reed Thompson, Anicia Scott with First Class Honors, Chelsea Scott with First Class Honors, Joelle Shepard, Kenroy Smith with First Class Honors, Vanessa Sutherland with First Class Honors, Bridget Thomas, Tonisha Thompson, Sharida Vassell with First Class Honors, Renee Watson, Shireen Watson, Hyacinth Wickham Robinson with First Class Honors, Nikisha Williamson with First Class Honors, Loni Wright Batik, Melvin Young, Montserrat, Certificate in Human Resource Management, Daniel Daru, Bachelor of Education, Monique Mighty, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, Stephanie Ogaro, Lorraine Winspear, St. Kitts and Nevis, Associate of Science, Kimberly Tucker Gums, Bachelor of Education, Mulinesh Collins, Alicia Crossley Thomas, Janine Heiliger, Chrislyn Jeffers with First Class Honors, Annie Marsham, Amoy Nisbet, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, Javan Cannonier with First Class Honors, Viandre Edwards, Nayoka Harris with First Class Honors, Brandon Hazel, Benedict John with First Class Honors, Ashasan Matthew, Nicole Maynard, Belisha MacDonald with First Class Honors, Judith Rollins, Yvette Ross, Vantalyn Webb Hendrickson with First Class Honors, Lisa Webster, Sonia Worrell with First Class Honors, St. Lucia, Associate of Science, Jem Descartes with Distinction, Bachelor of Education, Elaine Antoine, Mahaika Auguste with First Class Honors, Lydia Edwin with First Class Honors, Katrina Mathurin with First Class Honors, Bernata McFarlane with First Class Honors, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, Jessie Alcide with First Class Honors, Shanard Amadi with First Class Honors, Iva Antoine with First Class Honors, Chandel Arley with First Class Honors, Sachel Orles, Gregoria Calixte with First Class Honors, Seema Chitali Maitre, Rebecca Christo. Travis de Turville with first class honors. Lola de Turville Joseph with first class honors. Faye Dubois with first class honors. Christina Edmonston. Kerwin Eloise. Diana Emmanuel. Janaya Etienne with first class honors. Donaline Eugene. Pauline Francis. Desma George. Erland George. Valine Gustave. Cestine Harris. Tresha Ann Henry. Chantal Herman with first class honors. Radhika Jabandon. Brittany Jean-Baptiste. Anis Jean-Panel. Vanessa Jean-Pierre with first class honors. Soraya John. Stania Joseph with first class honors. Michelle Leo. Daryl Lewis with first class honors. Michaela Louisi. Samantha Morissette. Shauna Menald with first class honors. Tracy Modeste with first class honors. Mandrell Momorel. Donette Monero. Chrislyn Montoute with first class honors. Amelia Napoleon with first class honors. Melinda O'Brien. Naisha Paul with first class honors. Mary Persine. Rochelle Phillips. Nixon Pierre. Tara Regis. Christy Renee with first class honors. Tyasha Robert Comby. Zena Smith with first class honors. Lorianne Suchan with first class honors. Crystal Valse with first class honors. Levon Vitalis. Ayana Whitehead Smith Borgstrom. Francis Wilton. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bachelor of Education. Shamika Alexander with first class honors. Huldah Charles. Mabel Child. Nicole Cadogan. Almartin Duncan with first class honors. Katisha Fergus with first class honors. Sustan Fergus with first class honors. Janice John. Travern Lawrence Sutherland. Kahalia Sampson. Melissa Sargent with first class honors. And Sonia Timothy. Sarah Williams Gregg. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Kamisha Bailey Brown. Chantal Bibby with First Class Honors. Jose Black. Jacqueline Bonady. Janae Boyer. Giovanni Brown. Troy Bullock. Sharita Caesar. Joel Campbell. Keenan Costello. Susan Charles with First Class Honors. Shelley Chewitt with First Class Honors. Celine Dopwell. Jamelia Douglas with First Class Honors. Kilorn Durant. Idris Forbes with First Class Honors. Angelique Foster. Shamara Francis with First Class Honors. Katisha Gilbert with First Class Honors. Stanton Gomes. Jasmine James. Janine John with First Class Honors. Simeon John. Verna John with First Class Honors. Wanlin Lewis. Mariah Millington with First Class Honors. Musa Mohammed with First Class Honors. Delphine Otley. Cassian Patterson. Joanne Pierre with First Class Honors. Farisha Robinson. Antonia Samuel. Risha Shallow. Nicole Sprutt. Brittany Straker with First Class Honors. Trinidad and Tobago. Certificate in Criminology, Usha Lakan. Certificate in Tourism and Hospitality Management in the Caribbean, Cadell Devine. Diploma in Business Administration, Natricia Charles. Diploma in Public Sector Administration, Latoya Elaine Compton with distinction, Marsha Bernard. Giselle Cyrus. Vadamati John with distinction. Elizabeth Matthews. Associate of Science. Nicole Ali with distinction. Marsha Bihari. Kaya Cummins. Naomi Cupid. Shamika Dillon. Chantel Jack. Calvin Moses with distinction. Lauren Walcott. Bachelor of Education, Vitra Balgobin. Crystal Batiste. Keisha Brown. Darlene Clark with First Class Honors. Vickianne Frank Rambert with First Class Honors. Risha Gopal with First Class Honors. Sharon Gordon with First Class Honors. Hemiraji Jaikaran with first class honors. Sparkle Joseph Edwards with first class honors. Salisha Khan. Satira Khan. Farah Mohammed with first class honors. Parvati Nobat Ganesh with first class honors. Laura Ramuta with first class honors. Purdy Rosales with first class honors. Rahana Shah with first class honors. Sati Singh with first class honors. Vanessa Sukdeo. Jolene Trancoso Caliste with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Anissa Alexis Williams with first class honors. Tracel Alfred with first class honors. Adrian Ali. Trevine Andrews Joseph. Daniela Arnold. Erla Bacchus Charles with first class honors. Sajida Baksh with first class honors. Wilda Bascom with first class honors. Javance Benjamin with first class honors. Samantha Benny with first class honors. Stacian Bethalmi. Amanda Leah Brown. Marcia Carter. Akila Clark with first class honors. Liesel Cummins Thomas. Hannah Cyrus. Tiffany Debule with first class honors. Debbie Dionarine. Antoinette Downs. Gillian Edwards. Marcia Faustin Walker. Michelle Forteau Alain with first class honors. Esther Frank. Shireen Ganga with first class honors. Roseanne Gill with first class honors. Delicia Gittins. Mary Gobinsing. Sven Grant with first class honors. Jamila Gishard with first class honors. Giselle John Whiteman with first class honors. Alicia Lara. Laurent Lewis. Sarah Lucas. Deborah Lucas Barrington. Rhonda Matthias with first class honors. Crystal McKnight with first class honors. Bilal Millet. Kalisha Mills. Isaka Monsegu. Lindsay Leigh Monroe with first class honors. Brittany Nanku with first class honors. Liza Nicholas. Celine Norey. Jacqueline Patrick. Avanel Phillips. Northerly Phillips. Renee Ramnarayan Singh. Sherian Ramsing Abraham, Mary Robinson, Lauren Rodney, Ionel Ross, Marla Samaru, Ash Samlal with first class honors, Nakilia Samuel with first class honors, Chantel Sandy with first class honors, Patrice Seeley with first class honors, Christiane Stevens with first class honors, Dion Sylvester Coker, Stacy Thomas Clark, Talisha Tony, Angelique Tuitt with first class honors, Megan Wongsang, Turks and Caicos Certificate in Early Childhood Development and Family Studies, Glenda Henry Jones, Bachelor of Education, Livonia Smith. International students, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, Gervais Jean-Baptiste.
I now call upon Mrs. Laura Ramutar, Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood Development and Family Studies with first class honors from the Open Campus, Trinidad and Tobago, to deliver the valedictory address.
Chancellor Mr. Robert Bermudez, Vice Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Chairperson of Open Campus Council, Her Excellency Dr. June Soma, Pro Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal Dr. Francis Severin, Honorary Graduand Mr. George Wiley, University executives and other members of staff, fellow graduands, distinguished guests. It is with great honor and humility that I stand before you as valedictorian of the graduating class of 2021. As we stand on the cusp of our future, let us reflect upon the words of author Alfred Pine, quote, "What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others and the world remains and is immortal," end quote. We stand here today a product of the service of others. In its attempt to advance the scholarship of the people of the Caribbean, the Open Campus is of tremendous service to the region. Our instructors have served us during our 3-year voyage here at the Open Campus, and our families have served us for the entirety of our lives. Facilitating regional collaboration and global recognition, the University of the West Indies Open Campus demonstrates its commitment to its core values of diversity, inclusion, student-centeredness, and excellence. For years, we dreamt of pursuing higher education, but attending in-person classes was not an option for a single mother with no support system, or a father who works late hours daily, or a middle-aged employee seeking advancement in the workplace. The Open Campus made our dream a reality, with lessons and memories to last a lifetime. Today, we celebrate our achievements. It feels like only yesterday that we prudently began our journey at the Open Campus. Our uncertainty, anxiety, and fears were met with reassurance, patience, and guidance. The university created an experience unlike any other. We welcomed our instructors and tutors into our homes and workplaces each time we logged into the online forum. We attended classes while cooking dinner, nursing our babies, helping our children with their homework, working out, and even on commutes. A symphony of accents emanated from our devices as our peers from across the Caribbean region shared their thoughts and ideas during our synchronous sessions. And here we are today, graduating from this prestigious university, ranked among the top 1.5% of universities globally. We take with us new relationships forged during the battle for success. We have been blessed to meet true friends, and we continue to support each other right up to the finish line. Congratulations, class of 2021. Fellow graduates, the road was long, but we made it. Our efforts were not in vain. Those sleepless nights, the frustration we experienced when our computer crashed, technical issues during oral presentations that brought on anxiety, assignment deadlines, sacrificing family time, not to mention those group assignments. Those group assignments, some were like a gentle breeze, while others hit us like a hurricane. But we always came out stronger at the end of every semester. Days spent creating slideshows, editing video presentations, designing newsletters, and building websites have given us the skills to excel in a digital world, which is even more critical now that the pandemic has pushed humanity into a technologically dependent society. Look at us. We've been transformed into proficient individuals in each of our disciplines. We are now reflective practitioners, critical thinkers, diversity leaders, expert researchers, team players, risk takers, and we are ready to shine. While acquiring academic competence, we have blossomed as individuals. Our challenges have made us wiser, stronger, braver, and kinder. Our successes are not solely our own, as we had a team supporting us. First and foremost, overwhelming gratitude goes to the Creator of the universe and all that is in it. For without His mercy, guidance, and blessings, we would not have made it this far. To our course coordinators and tutors, your weekly motivational thoughts, words of encouragement, virtual parties, and patience got us through some of our darkest hours. To our well-wishers who cheered us on from the shadows and prayed for us silently, know that your support is valued. And where would we be without our families who supported us boundlessly for the past 3 or more years? God knows that it was not easy. Allow me to express immense appreciation to my husband of almost 16 years, whose voice still echoes, "You can do it." You shared my sleepless nights and helped me maintain my sanity through it all. To my children, who gave up bedtime stories so that I could attend classes, and tolerated my unhealthy relationship with my laptop, you all are my world. I hope that my journey inspires you to never give up. To my mother, who prepared meals for me so that I could meet deadlines, and my sister, who celebrated my grades every semester, may you be rewarded with goodness. My fellow graduates, here we are at the finish line. Some may embark on another academic adventure, while others explore career options. In the words of Debbie Tucson Kilday, author and poet, strive to be beyond what others perceive you to be by striving beyond the limits of yourself. Let's not stop now. Continue to grow. Continue to make your mark in this short life. Transform your finish line to a stepping stone and forge ahead. In this surreal moment, I want to share some advice that I give to my children. Whatever you decide to do and wherever you decide to go, choose a path that allows you to be of service to others. You have been blessed with an opportunity that individuals in other parts of the world can only hope for. Turn your knowledge into action. As we extend our gratitude to those who have service to us, let us extend our service to others. Let us not put our knowledge on a shelf or use it solely for career opportunities. In this world that is socially and economically deteriorating due to COVID-19, climate change, political unrest, poverty, ungodliness, greed, and selfishness, do something, anything for the progression of humanity. After all, famous author Charles Dickens once said, and I quote, "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another," end quote. Be a guardian that protects the well-being of at least one soul, or leave behind a legacy that will benefit mankind for generations. Thank you.
Sir, I now call on Dr. Denise Gaspard Richards, Director of Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of master's degrees and postgraduate diplomas of this university.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been awarded postgraduate certificates and diplomas, and have been admitted to master's degrees, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called master's degrees, postgraduate diplomas, and certificates of this university, and recognize their advancement in our society.
Anguilla, postgraduate diploma, management studies. Tamisha Eibel, with distinction. Master of Arts, English Language. Shinome Young, with distinction. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Mavis Fleming. Roslyn Ford. Master of Science, Management Studies. Kimberly Francis. Rondi Isles Carty. Julianne Leverett. Amalia Richardson. Rochelle Ward. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Lynette Carty, with distinction. Erlyn Wilkinson. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management. Kenisha Leverett. Kemaloy Murphy. Antigua and Barbuda. Postgraduate Diploma, Junior Command and Staff Leadership. Carl Jarvis. Master of Arts, English Language. Kim John Baptiste. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction. Lydia Quinn. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Marlene Lidette, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Yolande Honoré. Kempton McCalmont, with distinction. The Bahamas, Master of Education, Literacy Instruction. Tempest Bullard, with distinction. Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology. Chantal Curtis. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Helene Lewis Baker, with distinction. Loressa Thompson, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Nicholas Stanko. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Shaniqua Ferguson. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, Raynell Williams, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Richie Dean, with distinction. Barbados. Postgraduate Certificate, Disaster Risk Management and Resilience, Joyanne Johnson. Postgraduate Diploma, Management Studies, Lynn Culpepper, with distinction. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction, Shelley Franklin. Janelle Hunt Clark. Master of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies, Michael Lewis, with distinction. Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology, Renee Clark. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership, Rhonda Mayers, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Janelle Pierre. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management, Janine Bailey, with distinction. Belize. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction, Iman Neal, with distinction. Giselle Serrano. Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology, Michael Reno. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership, Paulette Gentle Augustus. Shilpa Jones, with distinction. Lynn Madrid. Lanessa Reynolds. Loretta Rayburn, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marcellus Ayala Jaban, with distinction. Anika Henry, with distinction. Libby Martinez. Karina Montejo. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Kira Bowen Polonio, with distinction. Jose Coy. Shamira Mariano, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Ruth Maynard. The British Virgin Islands. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership, Haida Joyles Selwood, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Tavia Hodge. Cayman Islands. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership, Yvette Gale. Dominica. Master of Science, Management Studies, Naomi Thomas Ofo. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Velma Joseph. Meloticia Mills, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, Nadia Pinard, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Jana Lawrence Moranci, with distinction. Adonia Stewart Commodore, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management, Delia Giddens Stedman, with distinction. Grenada. Master of Arts, English Language, Jenna James. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction, Lynette Roger Noel. Master of Science, Management Studies, Tamara Seals. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Sasha Matthews. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, Melissa Jocelyn, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Wendy Brizan, with distinction. Jamaica, Postgraduate Certificate, Disaster Risk Management and Resilience. Tanique Heslock, Postgraduate Diploma, Management Studies. Kevon Thompson, with distinction, Master of Arts, English Language. Shanette Dawkins Abbott, with distinction. Kalia Johnson, Master of Education, Literacy Instruction. Shanoy Barnett. Peter Gay Brown, with distinction. Avia Crooks. Carrie Davis. Lisa Douglas. Danae Smith, with distinction. Shala Wallace. Sophia Williamson, with distinction. Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology. Kamisha Roberts Dixon. Megan Thomas. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Felicia Bailey, with distinction. Peter Christie. Christina Donaldson, with distinction. Leroy Ferron. Tatina Murray. Monifa Schauder. Diane Vidal. Master of Science, Management Studies. Natalie Davis, with distinction. Kevin Henry, with distinction. Melicia Lewaz. Rochelle Marsh, with distinction. Melissa Nelson, with distinction. Renee Rankin, with distinction. Rochelle Sterling Johnson, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Anastasia Beckford Ross, with distinction. Tamika Burke. Elaine Monroe. Nikisha Suarez, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing. Christopher Jaikaran, with distinction. Latoya McBean. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management. Karen Allen Peart. Vanessa Beavers, with distinction. Kadian Jonas. Keisha Pennant. Sharice Smith, with distinction. Camille Suarez. Nicole White, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management. Rashika Hines. Paula White Bernard, with distinction. Montserrat. Postgraduate Diploma, Management and Educational Leadership. Fiona Mead. St. Kitts and Nevis, Postgraduate Diploma, Management Studies, Tashima Williams, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Deloma Edgins, with distinction. Valencia Wilkinson, Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, J.D. Keynes, Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Delicia Caesar, with distinction. Carissa Roberts, St. Lucia, Master of Arts, English Language, Millicent Couchman, Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Samara Aurelie, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, Kiva Charles, with distinction. Philippa Regis, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Alden Delma, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management, Marie Joanni, with distinction. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology, Caricia Crichton. Master of Science, Management Studies, Philia Alexander, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Desine Kane, with distinction. Kimisha Glynn, Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Shema Sayers. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management, Charlene Williams. Trinidad and Tobago, Postgraduate Certificate, Disaster Risk Management and Resilience, Laishala Carr, Postgraduate Diploma, Literacy Instruction, Sheena Hussain, with distinction, Postgraduate Diploma, Management and Educational Leadership, Candice Jagan Spicer, with distinction, Master of Arts, English Language, Kathleen Austin, Maria Roberts, Master of Education, Literacy Instruction, Christine Alfred, with distinction, Nisha Arundel, Janice Bunyan, with distinction, Patrice Brito Thomas, Melissa Cazot, with distinction, Charmaine Greenwich, with distinction, Kerry Hector, with distinction, Vidya Jairam, Genevieve Mohammed, Abigail Noel, Trudy Reed, Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology, LaDonna Howell, Valerie King Roberts, Master of Science, Management Studies, Kanesha Perry, with distinction, Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management, Korisha Khan, with distinction, Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, Arisa Duquesne, with distinction, Deja Lawrence, with distinction, Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Jason James, Leonge Marie Sedan Singh, Alana Tasha, with distinction, Nikita Turpin Fraser, Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management. Kareen Clark. Irad Daniel, with distinction. Turks and Caicos Islands, Postgraduate Certificate, Disaster Risk Management and Resilience. Tamika Williams, Postgraduate Diploma, Management Studies. Media Trey Davidson, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Tashona Wilson. International Students, Guyana, Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management. Manifa Dalrymple. International Students, St. Martin, Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Richard White.
Sir, I now call on Professor Rosemary Bell-Antoine, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of Doctor of Education degrees.
So, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Education, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called the degree of Doctor of Education of this university and recognize their advancement in our society.
Antigua and Barbuda, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Higher Education, Marcel Archer Thomas. Barbados, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Higher Education, Basil Gemot. Trinidad and Tobago, Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Education Systems and Schools, John Horsfall.
I now call on the President of the UWI Alumni Association, Belize Chapter, Ms. Jamie Rock, to lead the graduates in the Alumni Pledge.
So graduates, warm greetings from the country of Belize. I'm so excited to congratulate you on this milestone achievement. Big congratulations to the class of 2021. I'm also really excited to welcome you into the wider Pelican family. As the Belize Chapter President of the Belize UWI Alumni Association and a UWI alumni, I also encourage you to honor your alma mater by participating actively in your local chapter. And now I'm pleased to lead you in our Alumni Pledge.
As a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I commit myself to uphold the ideals and goals of my alma mater. My conduct and voice shall reflect the commitment to excellence of a light rising from the West. As I fulfill my social and professional responsibilities and serve my community and region, I will strive to ensure the UWI's place as a Caribbean icon, the catalyst for Caribbean development and leadership. It is a legacy that I will proudly help build for future generations. The UWI, first in our hearts and first in our region.
We will now have a rendition of the university song, There Is a Light.
With vision clear, you came along to shape our destiny.
This brings to a close the public ceremony by which the University of the West Indies has signalized the award of degrees, associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates to its graduates.
We work